Ta-da! Well, I made it. I know when I did my little video today reminding you about Ask Dave Fennoy Anything, I had a gig at 4. They said, I'm going to need you till 5:30. And I wasn't sure I was going to get back, but I kind of figured I'd get back. Well, I got back. Got back in time, so all is good. Ellery King, how you doing? First one up. Ellery, how you doing? Janet Peters, gives me an idea. First one up. I should do something like give a half-hour coaching session from time to time for the first one up. I think I'll do that. Not this time because, but next time I think we'll do that. I'll start. When I'm going to do it, I'll put it in the video. Also, I have found out how I can get guests on. For so long, you can't really pull people on, but I found some programming that works with Facebook Live. So I will start having some guests, some people who have some things to say other than what I have to say, who have some expertise in some areas very specific to something that they do. Particularly, I'm looking at people who maybe they're not doing video games and TV promos and commercials, but they're doing a lot of narration and corporate narr and e-learning. And they're building their own businesses and finding their own clients. And that, I think, would be a great help to a lot of people and, just help spread the knowledge. So I'm looking to get some guests as of next Wednesday. So we'll be doing it then. I just learned how to use this thing in the last couple of days, or I've tried it out a couple of times. There are going to be some mistakes when we do it. And I'm going to start with something here. Get your questions ready. That a young man who's writing a book on voiceover sent me some questions and asked me to answer them. And I have them here. And I'm going to start there. Does that mean you can't ask your questions? No, I want your questions. But Chris Argos, he says, in commercial demos, there seems to be 2 schools of thought. Be versatile or do one signature style of read very, very well. I imagine in video game interactive demos, showing you can do various characters is the priority. True, or should something else take center stage? Well, I'm going to say you do what you do best. I will invoke the late, great Don LaFontaine. I'm not going to say he had one read, but he had one voice. He wasn't doing a variety of different voices, but he was the voice we heard on drama promos for the networks, on movie promos. He is the prototypical trailer voice for movies. And he did adventure movies and comedy movies and suspense movies. Same voice, just changed his attitude and was good enough at it that you could almost say he invented the art. And he was only making $30,000, $40,000 a day. I don't think we'll ever see that again. But his demo would have had just that on it. Now, there are some other people who do a variety of characters. And that means that their demo is going to have more range of different voices that they do. But still, you want your voice to be the star of the show. You want to keep coming back to something that people can recognize. Otherwise, they'll go through, they'll hear all these different voices and still not know who you are. The last thing in the world you want is you've spent all this time and all this money on a demo that leaves people going, well, I heard a lot of voices, but I'm not sure who this person is. All right, and now what do you think when you put together a video game demo? Do you start with a goal or target audience and work from that? Do you open with your natural voice and then transition into characters? At this point, I'm sure you bring in past work, but if I had to build one from scratch, how would you do it? Where might you find inspiration or scripts? Do you start with a goal or target audience? Well, your goal is to get work ultimately with your demo, work representation, a demonstration of what you can do. So either they're booking you or they're signing you or they're offering you auditions and sometimes offering you work. Do you open with your natural voice? I'd say yes. You may do a number of different kinds of things on your demo for animation or video games. And I'll give this: video games, we lean towards drama. Animation, we lean towards comedy. Does it mean there's no comedy in video games? No. Does it mean there's no drama in animation? No. But rule of thumb. So you want to start with something that is recognizable as you. You may do some accents somewhere along the way. You may have some affected voices somewhere along the way. You may be an AI somewhere along the way. But you want to keep coming back to your voice print. I remind everybody again, how many of our favorite actors playing a variety of characters in a variety of worlds still sound like themselves? We have a little more leeway in voiceover work than on-camera work in terms of what our voices sound like. But you still want to have your signature voice shine through. As for past work, yeah, if you've got a library of work that you've done, put that on there, absolutely. And of course, you can find your work for video games and cartoons on YouTube or Twitch. If you had to build one from scratch, how would you do it? If I had to build one from scratch, I would find copy that I liked and find somebody else to produce my demo, because I need somebody that's more objective about me than I am about me, and I make the same suggestion for everybody else. All right, are there any obvious differences between an animation demo and one for video games? Yeah, the leaning into comedy, the leaning into drama. How long do you think demos should be? 1 minute for most demos is what we're looking at right now. You can still get away with 1.5 minutes for video game and animation demos, especially if they're good and if they're video. Is there a minimum number or maximum of characters that you should have on your demo? I wouldn't say, you could have too many and you could have not enough. I think if you're in that 8 to 14, 15 character range, you're doing fine. You're going to have some things that are a little longer. I like the idea now on video game demos of having, a good 10, 15, 20-second one thing that demonstrates your ability to act, some monologue. Take a piece from that's just your voice with minimal production underneath it. Beginners can't put together video demos because they don't have the work. But when they think about doing a video, But when should they think about doing a video demo? When they have 1 or 2 clips from their bookings, or should they wait until they have more? I would wait until I had more. The last thing in the world you want to do is do a demo based on 2 or 3 clips. You want to show more variety than that. And when I say variety, I'm not necessarily talking about different voices, but different moods, different attitudes, different product categories, different energy levels, all those kinds of things. But if you have a website, and you're not in business if you don't have a website, and you have 2 or 3 good video commercials, television commercials, put them on your website. Make sure they're easy for a client to find as you're sending business prospective clients to your website to look at your work, listen to your demos, and you can point out, oh yeah, or have them sitting right out there where they're easy to see. All right, beginners, how do you feel about beginner and intermediate level voice talent producing their own demos? No! Absolutely not. You don't know what you're doing. B, you're on a learning curve, and it's too many things for you to try to become an expert at all at once. So first, as you said, about a beginner or intermediate level. So first, you're probably going to be a little nervous about your work, about the voice work you're doing. Now you got to find the right music, add the right music. You got to find the right copy for yourself. You've got to mix it. And I hear demo after demo after demo that people send me that they did themselves. And it doesn't mean that they're not talented. Doesn't mean that they won't have a career. But if the mix isn't right, if it's not in the right form that the industry is expecting, people are not going to listen to it. And you only have one chance to make a first impression, and they will get a first impression very, very quickly. Within the first 5 or 10 seconds, I go, oh, well, this isn't mixed right. Her voice is too loud or not loud enough. Oh, I don't like that music. What was she? Don't do it. Do yourself a favor. Save up the money and get a pro to do it. Lastly, what milestone should talent reach before they put together their first interactive or animation demo? Should they have a certain number of characters developed? Well, you probably, if you're a person that likes to do animation or video games, you probably were developing characters all along. I know for myself, sometimes I'm just sitting around and different voices come out of me, and I've been that way all my life. And most of the people I know that do cartoons and video games are the same way. You not necessarily you were trying to be a crack up, but you imitated cartoon characters and your friends and came up with a variety of voices that at the time you just thought you were having fun and entertaining your buddies, but wow, you actually were putting together some of the tools you're going to need for a great career. So I would imagine as you're beginning, you have some of that. But what you really want to be able to do is take that raw talent that you have, add the skills that you need to that talent to understand how to be a good actor. And once again, have someone help you put that demo together. Someone that has done demos before. Because everybody's demo really needs to show off their talent, that thing that's special with them. Let's talk about singers. You got a singer that's really loud and high, I'm a rock singer! And we'll love a rock singer like that. And then we'll get a smooth singer who's just doing his thing. And we'll love that too. And you're not going to have these guys crossing what they do. They're doing what they do. And, it's going to be great. They're going to have great careers. But they're having good careers because they're being themselves. All right. So, Chris, if you're listening, I hope you got that. And let's say hello. Hello, Janet J. What's up? Derek Dorsey. Jay written off. Hi, Dave. I have recorded a demo for commercial voice in Spanish and English. I'm jealous of you. I wish I spoke another language well enough to do that. I've been trying to get work, and I haven't been able to get any work. I don't know what to do. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, either book some time or send me your demo. Let me listen to it, and we'll have a private conversation about what it is you're doing to try to get work. Adela Barnes, hey, Chris Kane, McAlpine, Charity, how are you? Ellery King, Usef, Adam Starcaster, okay, Marcellus, hi, Dave, greetings from Atlanta. Good to see you. Tiffany is cool, joined. Robert Paulson, Dave Clark, Ryan, Jonathan, Sonny, Jabari, Warfield, Nick, how can we sign up for your seminar in Dallas? Right now, the seminar that I'm going to be doing in Dallas is with the Roadshow. And if you go to the VORoadshow.com, you can sign up there. Did my VO reel at VoiceCaster? Okay. We'll Jay, we will talk privately. Ellery King, can I send you mine? It's just a mush mash of various things. Yeah, you can send me your demo. Now, I will listen to them. It might take me some time to get back to you, but I will listen to them. So let's see. Lisa Cassels, how you doing? Robert Paulson. Is that Rob Paulson? Rob Paulson? Great info day. Well done. Is that my boy Rob Paulson? One of the best that ever did it and got away with it? Listen, Rob, I believe that's you. I would love to have you as a guest. I'll hit you up. Chris Lewis, greetings, sir. How are you, Kyle? Wait a minute. Is that it? No? Oh, yeah. Here we go. So need some more questions here. I love the greetings, but let's have some questions. Let's say, and let me say this about me listening to your demos. The only demos I do, the only demos I work on now with people are video game demos, and I don't try to do a lot of them. I don't want to become a demo mill. And if I haven't worked with you, chances are I wouldn't do it. But there are a lot of good people out there, as long as we're talking about demos. There are a lot of good people out there to help you with their demos. But a couple of mistakes I see people make is, one, putting themselves too much in the hands of the demo producer. You don't want to give all your power and vision away. Hold on to that. Sometimes they say artists are, wow, they're really hard to work with. Well, sometimes that being hard to work with isn't that they're being a jerk. It's they're holding on to their vision. People will steal that from you. I remember early in my career, I had people that said, well, you'll never make it in this business. There's something wrong with your voice. Oh, we got enough voices already. Well, they're not hiring black people right now, so I don't know why you're trying to do it. People will come up with any excuse. When I moved to L.A., people in the Bay Area were like, oh, hey, I went down there. I didn't make it. How are you going to make it? People will steal your dream. And sometimes when it's not the dream they're stealing your vision. Now, yes, there's some people who show up and they're a little crazy, and you got to kind of knock some sense into them. But don't let people pull you too far away from who you really are, what it is you really do, because they've got an idea about, well, you're like this and the industry's like this, so therefore you have to change everything about you and become that. It can be tempting. Oh, if I just do this, then I'll get some work. There are some things you do need to do. You need to get better. You need to be the kind of talent that relates to the world as it is, as opposed to the world as it was 20 years ago. One of the toughest things for a lot of people I know is they've been doing this a long time. They may have come out of radio, and they've got that thing, and everything is going to sound great, and they're going to make sure you hear every word, and it's fabulous, it's wonderful, it's unbelievable, and nobody wants to buy that anymore. I can still do that, jump right in, and when I get booked for that, it's usually comedy, it's a joke. But a lot of guys, especially, who have come out of radio, are stuck in that. Stuck in making sure you hear every word, and I have this wonderful, beautiful, and getting people out of that sometimes is tough. Those are the kinds of things you need to change, but not who you are. That's not who you are. That's some affectation you've done to your voice that you want to get rid of. Going down, Steve Tarlio. Started booking some animated characters on a few new animated TV shows. Coming soon. Would it be a good idea to have a video demo reel with clips of my animated characters from the shows, or an MP3 of the audio clips of my animated characters from the shows? Video is always better. If you have enough, and see, having a video clip is not quite the same as a demo. I think you should have a demo. If you don't have enough clips that they're a demo, and I'm not sure you want to have a demo that's all from one cartoon. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you don't want to have a demo that's all from one cartoon. Once again, I would have some clips, maybe some clips of if you've got a main character, maybe you put together a little montage of clips from this character. If there's some taglines that they say, a couple of those. It doesn't have to be long, but it'll give people an idea. Oh, yeah, he's that guy that plays it. Oh, yeah, I love when he says that. That you can put on your website. That maybe you have it as an MP3. If you don't have, you could have the video clips and the MP3 clips to send out, not as a demo, but as like a mini demo. Oh, yeah, I'm this guy, blah, 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 on that. But what you really want to have on your reel is a variety of the kinds of characters that you do well. So, man, is that it? No more questions? What's going on? And I need more questions than just, can I send you my demo? I guarantee you, yeah, you can send it. It's going to take me a while. It'll take me a while to get back to you. Um, wow, is that it for today? Man. Huh. Well, let me remind you of a couple of things. If you want to do private lessons, happy to do it. Just go to davefennoy.com. There's a little sign up there at the top that says Study VO, and you can book yourself. And I've run into this a couple of times. People who have booked 5 or 10 sessions with me, and sometimes it doesn't let you, certainly won't let you book all the sessions, but sometimes it won't even let you book the first one. Send me a note. Let me know. I will be able to see that, oh yeah, so-and-so signed up. And you and I will book when that first session will be. And then we'll book the rest of them as we go, because I'm a working actor and sometimes things change. Also, you can still get in on the deal of voiceoverphd.com. It's a couple of years worth of webinars and workshops that I've done. The workshops are all voice acting for video games, but the webinars are that, TV promos, how to read copy, narration. And if you took it all, it would have been several $1,000s, and they're going for about $495, I believe, if my memory of what Fred told me about how that's marketed. But it's voiceoverphd.com if you'd like to take advantage of that. And Rob Paulson, yeah. And let me just say this, as Rob has stopped by, one of the nicest as well as one of the most talented people in this business. He was knocking it out when I came to town in 1990. I'm not sure he came too much before that, but it'll be a pleasure to get you on, Rob, because you have a story to tell. He's a great singer, great voice actor, and just a great guy. And, we got a few more things. Yeah, don't leave. Thank you, Raven. That's nice. Hello, Janet. How are you? Have you heard of peopleperhour.com? I have not, but it sounds like a place that you can hire people. Keep writing. Write a note there and let me know what that is. Ellery King, you're so thorough in your teachings. You answer the questions before we can ask them. Well, actually, I was answering a question. Hey, there goes Clementine. I was answering a question somebody sent me. Chris Argos, I think is his name, and he's writing a book and asked me if I'd answer some questions. And I think he asked me 3 weeks ago, and I said, I'll just do a video. So that saved me some time. Raven, I once heard that a very talented individual who doesn't know how to brand themselves may not be as successful as they could be. What's your tips on properly branding yourself? Branding has become the rage. Hey, Molly Page, what's going on? Branding has become the rage. Oh, everybody, I got to brand myself. I get it. You want people to be able to look at your website, look at your business card, look at your materials, and get a sense of who you are. I still think in many times you're putting the cart before the horse a little bit. Sometimes you don't quite know what your brand is yet. So I'm going to suggest that your branding is going to evolve. The first thing you want to do, get some friends, the coaches that you work with, if you have an agent, to give you an idea of what words describe you or as a voice talent. And then you can start working with that. So-and-so, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever that kind of voice is. Believable and friendly, whatever that is. You may find that later on your branding becomes something else. And maybe something that isn't even a verb or an adjective or an adverb that describes your voice. It might be something else. It may be a cartoon picture. Who knows? I think this has become somewhat of my branding in it. But first things first, get your skills up, get your demos done. Then, as you get into your career, then start pushing your branding. There are a whole bunch of people who have had great careers over the years and never thought about branding until the last 5 or 6 years when, or actually it's more like 10, when branding became the thing to say, oh, yeah, well, what about your branding? Get your skills up. Get your website together. Get your demos together. Get your marketing, and I'm not necessarily saying the branding of your marketing, but get yourself in front of the people that you need to get yourself in front of. Ian McDonald, I've heard more talk lately about video demos. Would you say this is necessary? Maybe this is just a recent fad. It seems like an audio demo is most important. Well, audio demo definitely is very important. There's a couple of kind of video demos. Now, if you've been doing a lot of TV commercials, then you can do a video demo of slices of those TV commercials. There are also some people out there that will take your video demo and slice in stock footage, stock pictures of the kinds of products that you're doing. Say you're doing a healthcare thing, and now you got some footage of somebody in a hospital and a doctor looking over you, and wow, you're going to die. It's terrible. Bye. So there are those kinds of demos, and people will do them, and they may get a little more viewership. But I think people are sophisticated enough to know fairly quickly that, I'm not seeing any logos. This is stock footage. And if you put the logos on, that it's going to get a little more attention. But the end all and be all is going to be, what's your what's your read? What's your performance? So if you want to spend that extra money, great. But first, make sure your sound demo is good. Once again, if you have a bunch of on-camera commercials that you can put into a demo, great. Not so sure about just adding the stock footage. It'll help, but not that big a deal. Janet Peters, People Per Hour is a website that, yes, they hire freelancers. Voquent posted a video today on Twitter that gives out several websites where voiceover is used. This is not an easy career. I will not dare give up, but I'm finding I am slower now than I was last year. I spend more time marketing myself than I do auditioning these days. Sorry, this was not a question. Actually, it kind of is a question, because then the question becomes, what do I do about that? The marketing is important. And see, this business is so different now. I have always been in the business with an agent since I've come to Los Angeles. So I have agents around the country, some internationally. I get auditions sent to me. I've been doing this long enough from time to time. Somebody actually just hires me. I don't even have to audition. There are more people in this business now than ever before. Also, thankfully, there's more work now in this business than ever before. Not all of it is highly visible. So how do you find those corporate jobs? How do you find those e-learning jobs? How do you find those explainer jobs? It's going to be through your website, your marketing. I don't know if there are agents now that are moving into those areas. Wouldn't be surprised if there are. The only constant is change. A lot of those jobs were showing up in the pay-to-play sites and are probably still there. Once again, I would avoid voices.com like the plague, because they kind of are. There are some other companies that are a little better. But it takes work. It takes work. You're going to have to keep auditioning and keep marketing and keep finding ways to find people to help you with that. As a matter of fact, I know some people who market themselves, and now they're using their kids. Their kids needed a job and said, well, Dad said, go to work for me and market me and handle this and handle that. So maybe get an intern. Maybe you have a daughter, a son, a cousin who might be willing to help you with some of that. Take that off your plate so you can audition more, hopefully get more work. Chris Lewis, I have a zero idea of what my branding is. I'm a voice actor. Give me some copy, put it in front of a mic, throw me some feedback, and watch me work. I hope that's what you like. Okay, I'm going to go back to branding a little bit. We all, how would you describe me? Dave Fennoy is a black guy of a certain age with a voice print that sounds like what comes to mind. That's the beginning of your branding. So, Chris, when you say, I have no idea, sure you do. You're not real sure, but actually you do. You know how deep your voice is or not deep. You know what your voice print is. You know the kinds of things that just come naturally and how people feel when they hear you. What do people tell you about your voice? And are you somebody that is, oh, wow, he has a quirky voice. Oh, wow, he just sounds really sincere. Oh, wow. Those are the things that you start with for branding. And you kind of want to know that, but still work on your craft more than trying to decide, oh, this is who I am. Because some of that's going to change from time to time. But that's where you start. That's why agents, when they're looking at an audition that comes in, oh, we're looking for an African-American male, 20 to 30, a hip vibe, that da-da-da-da-da. Now, the person who gets that may not consider themselves, street vibe or whatever, but they can do it. And maybe they do it and it works, and maybe they keep getting work in that area, and now they're kind of branded that way. And maybe they take that on. What kind of work do you get mostly, Chris? That would be the question that I ask. What do they hire you for? In so many ways, the industry decides who it is you are and what it is you do. Pay attention. I've had the good fortune of working in a lot of areas, and I realized some time ago that all the people I did promos for thought of me only as a promo voice. The people I did commercials for thought of me only as a commercial voice. Animation, he's an animation voice. Narration, he's a narration voice. Because they're not interested in any of that other stuff. If you can do a variety of things, great. But the industry is funny. The thing I wanted to do when I got in this business was be another Don LaFontaine. It never happened. I've done a few trailers, but I've had a really good career. So don't be too disappointed if you're working in an area you weren't sure that you were that interested in, but the dollars are rolling in. And I love what I do. Isabella Tugman, some voice actors have agents, but many voice actors negotiate their own contracts. Can you recommend any good resources to become more business savvy when working with clients and negotiating contract rates? You can sneak into the SAG-AFTRA website and look at rates. There's a company out there, GVAA. There are a number of places online that you can find. If you go to, not Voices. VoiceOver Guide. Google VoiceOver Guide. It's been around for years. When you went to studios, you used to find them as a magazine in all the studios. Now it's a website. And not only do they list lots of studios in various towns, they definitely cover New York and Los Angeles. I think they're still there. But they also give you an idea of what union rates are. And I think you should always base what it is you're doing off union rates. Now, maybe you're going to come a little below that. Hopefully not. But it's a good benchmark for what you should be charging for various things. I'm trying to get a young lady on either next week or the next, now that I'll be able to have guests, who does a lot of narration work and medical narration and business narration. And how do you charge by the word, and what are the things to look out for, and how do you find clients? So that's going to help a lot of people who are not represented by agents and may not be in the union. But there's some resources out there. Once again, just because you're not in the union doesn't mean you can't go to the website and find out what union rates are. Okay, let's see. Deacon Marshall and hello. Wow, this is a short one. Oh, wait a minute. Jean-Francois, how are you? I just don't want to miss anybody. No, this isn't an easy career. This is not one of those careers, learn how to do voiceover and make millions. And let's talk about money for a minute. I remember how disappointed I was in a friend of mine once. They started doing well, and they started posting pictures of checks. How we define success in this business, we can't always define it. As a matter of fact, I don't think we should always define financial success as success in and of itself. It's wonderful when you have a lot of money. It's a good thing. I like being able to pay my bills and drive a nice car and wear nice clothes, eat at nice restaurants, and do all those things. But success for some persons for one person is different than success for somebody else. A Don LaFontaine who was making $30,000 a day, wow, that's success, and he lived a good life with it. There are going to be some people listening right now who are making $50,000, $60,000 a year doing voiceover, and they're a success because it takes care of their needs, keeps them happy, feeds their soul. And so I don't like necessarily pointing to, oh, this person's making that much money, so therefore they're a much bigger success than this person over here who's also enjoying his life. Maybe he's not making as much money, but he's satisfied and he's doing something he wants to do. I know for me, I've learned that I really like to teach and do, but I really still like doing voiceover work. It's a joy. And every time the gig is over, as long as I've been doing this, when the gig's over, it's a little letdown. The gig I had today was a cartoon, and a nice little Disney cartoon, and I played several characters, and they had me from 4 to 5:30. And I worked pretty fast, so about 4:25, 4:35, I was done. And allowed me to get back in time to do this, but I remember I felt, wow, it's over. Well, we were having so much fun. Oh, okay. Bye. See you next time. It's a privilege when you can do this. Do not take it for granted. If you're not making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but you're making enough, you're enjoying what you're doing, and it keeps you from that old thing you used to do that you didn't want to do, you're being a success. Janet, you were talking about, it's a little tough. I know I've had ups and downs in this thing, and sometimes you know, wow, does my phone work? Is it email? What happened? Things go up and down in this business. But if you keep knocking on the door, something is going to break loose. I can think of the number of times. I remember when the economy totally crashed in 2009. My two biggest clients went out of business. It's when I started with Hulu, but it wasn't a lot of money then. But I was, oh my God, what am I going to do? My two biggest clients are gone. I have my income. And two things happened. One, I decided, you know what? I need to do the things I did when I started my career. I reintroduced myself to clients. Get out there. Oh, there's this social media thing. I better get on that. And the kinds of things that we pray for, wish for, that we have envisioned. Oh, if only I could get blah, 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 blah. If only I could be the promo voice for blah, 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 blah. None of those things I thought of came to fruition. But other things did, things I couldn't have thought of, things I had no idea were there. So if you're a praying person, pray for your highest good. Don't pray for things. Pray for your highest good. And be thankful already for the blessings that are coming your way. I know I sound like super religious. I'm not. But I think this is the way the universe works. You're going to get what you're thinking and feeling. So careful about your thoughts and your words. All right. Now I'm getting too philosophical. Ha ha ha. Good, Janet. You won't stop knocking on those doors. Yeah, there. GVAA. There's a European rate chart available on the Gravy for the Brain website as well. Well, Gravy for the Brain is in Europe. And I think they make less than we do. We are Americans after all. Okay, cool. Well, I am going to call it a day. I intend to have a guest next week. I will know by the time I do my little promo, and I'll let you know who that guest is and what they're bringing to the table. And I always enjoy this, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to just kind of run my mouth and be myself. When Deacon Marshall, Dave, this is Rufus Marshall from CBP. We go back, Quiet Storm Day. Oh, wow, Quiet Storm, man. The Quiet Storm, that's right. And don't be afraid to ask the universe for help. Yeah, that's right, Rama Rodriguez. Once again, thank you. If you want to grab that VoiceOver PhD, voiceoverphd.com, bunch of workshops that I've done, bunch of webinars that I've done for a low price. Private lessons, go to davefennoy.com, study VO, and I will see you next week. All the best. See ya.